Bitcoin at 27,000 today after the crypto meltdown is probably good, because if Bitcoin was 250,000 right now after the crypto meltdown, instead of all the regulators and all the politicians in the world attacking every crypto exchange, every other cryptocurrency, every other crypto token, and leaving Bitcoin alone, maybe people would be worried about Bitcoin. So the one word conspicuously absent from all of the regulatory attacks in the crypto industry is Bitcoin.
In this video, Michael Saylor American, entrepreneur and co-founder of Microstrategy, talks about the relationship between politics, power, corruption, along with the appeal of cyberspace and logic of Bitcoin for those seeking sovereignty in an increasingly crowded world. Saylor discusses the aftermath of the recent crypto meltdown and highlights the advantages of Bitcoin's current price being at $27,000. He suggests that if Bitcoin had already reached $250,000 after the meltdown, it would have attracted extensive regulatory and political attention, resulting in attacks on various crypto exchanges and tokens. Saylor speculates about a potential future scenario in which Bitcoin becomes widely embraced by institutions, including banks, and its price reaches $10 million per coin. Saylor explained that in the scenario where all property is based on physical assets, there is a greater risk of conflict and war. This is because neighboring countries could invade and seize the land or assets, especially if they are indestructible, like gold. On the other hand, if property primarily consists of buildings, factories, and other forms that can be destroyed. Saylor also pointed out that in a digital property-dominated environment, if a country were to pass laws taxing Bitcoin holdings, the Bitcoin would simply leave the country since it can easily move across borders in the cyber domain. Saylor believes that Bitcoin is the emergence of self in the cyberspace. Although it is quite risky, but it provides freedom in crypto territory. Saylor stated that the risk in cyberspace is I can spin up 1 billion fake people, and I can create a civil war by having the fake Republicans hate on the fake Democrats or the real Democrats, having the fake Democrats hate on the real Republicans. Saylor predicts that the next wave will bring the meltdown of crypto and the melt-up of Bitcoin, while the wave after that will result in Bitcoin being the highest form of currency. Saylor believes that Bitcoin will outlast everything except humanity. Before we proceed further, please ensure that you subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to stay updated.
Everyone that's actually done the work to understand Bitcoin is able to buy Bitcoin right now for 27,000 instead of 270,000. And if the world was rational, it's like I said, when the FDIC embraces Bitcoin and lets banks hold Bitcoin, everybody will want it. No one will want to sell it. You won't be able to afford it. I mean, I think it's useful to have a model with two polar extremes. One would be a country where all the property was in the land or in the physical assets or in the companies within the country. And the other extreme would be a country where substantially all the property, let's say 95%, was in cyberspace, stored in the heads of the people, let's say in the form of Bitcoin in cyberspace. So in the one extreme where all the property is in the land, there's an encouragement to war because the country right next to you can invade your borders and take all the property, right? Especially if the property is something which can't be destroyed, like gold. Let's say the most extreme, we've got all of our money in gold in a vault, indestructible, and you live next door. You can come in the country, kill everybody, firebomb everything, take the gold, leave, right? So gold is an encouragement to violence from outside, encouragement to war. If the property is buildings and factories and farms, maybe I want to use a neutron bomb, right? Like I want to use something which doesn't necessarily destroy the structures. You have to be a little bit more careful and surgical in your war, right? Not to destroy something. So let's say we know that war is encouraged by immobile property or indestructible property in the physical realm. I think on the right side of the axis, when all property is substantially Bitcoin and digital, then there's no point in invading that country because you're not getting anything. But because, first of all, if you did invade the country, unless you did it in an hour or less and no one knew, all the Bitcoin will be gone from the country, right? It's going to be wired off into cyberspace, put into some time lock multi-sig, or it's going to another country. The Bitcoin can move faster than the army can move. So it's not really that productive to engage in war to get it. And then the corruption doesn't make a lot of sense, because if I run a country A, and I pass a law taxing Bitcoin 5% a year or 50%, the Bitcoin leaves the country, right? And Bitcoin is mobile property in the cyber domain.
Saylor noted that it might not be politically or strategically wise for them to publicly declare their commitment to Bitcoin, as it could make them targets in their respective countries. He acknowledged that his own decision to publicly announce his substantial Bitcoin holdings might have undermined some of its value, but he believed it was necessary for someone to take that step. Saylor expressed his belief that there are likely other significant Bitcoin holders who have made substantial investments, particularly in China, but choose not to reveal their holdings due to the risks involved. He believed that as faith in other crypto networks and tokens wanes, people will turn to Bitcoin as a more reliable and secure option. Saylor anticipated a future where there will be a melt-up of Bitcoin's value alongside a meltdown of the broader crypto market. He further envisioned Bitcoin emerging as the highest form of property in the subsequent wave of development.
We have a lot of wealthy people outside the U.S. And so to the extent that you have people in the Middle East and South America, I think you actually find there are a lot of wealthy people in South America and various countries, right, that aren't necessarily, they're not necessarily embedded to their knees in concrete in the U.S. system. And so they see the benefit of Bitcoin, but it's not politically, and it's not wise for them to announce their commitment to Bitcoin, because they would be targets in their local country.
Right.
If you think about everyone in China, South America, and Africa, right? To a certain extent, right? The virtuous aspect of Bitcoin is the fact that it is both mobile, but also it is invisible wealth.
Right.
So you could argue that, that I undermined half of the value of my Bitcoin by making it visible.
Yeah.
I did it for a reason, and the reason is someone needed to do it. But I wouldn't say everyone needs to do it. If you, for example, had as much Bitcoin as me and you lived in Venezuela right now, or any country on earth,
right,
I wouldn't necessarily, unless you were quite secure in your own situation, or unless you're willing, to take the brunt of the pushback for standing up in favor of Bitcoin for some other reason, I would say I would not encourage most people in an unstable political situation to announce they have Bitcoin. Yeah. I'm quite sure, for example, there are substantial Bitcoin holders that have made massive investments in Bitcoin in China. If you live in a corrupt society where they seize the wealth of anybody that has it,
mm-hmm.
then there's two types of people: those that announce they have it, that lose it in short order, and those that don't announce they have it and that you're not seeing. So I actually think there are a lot of people that, I'm not the only one that's bought $1 billion of Bitcoin. I'm the only one that's been in a position to announce it, and I've had a lot of reasons to announce it, right? I think that over the next 4 years, you'll see more. I actually think there's a huge amount of money in the crypto ecosystem right now, trading on crypto exchanges, trading in crypto tokens, trading in cryptocurrencies like stablecoins. And I think that over time, a lot of that capital will flow into Bitcoin because there's no other place for it to flow. So as people lose faith in crypto exchanges, and they lose faith in other crypto networks, and they lose faith in other cryptocurrencies, they're not going to go back to the fiat system. They're going to flow into Bitcoin, and the meltdown of crypto will be a melt up of Bitcoin, and so that'll be an interesting time period. And I think that'll be the next wave. It'll be a melt up of Bitcoin and a meltdown of crypto, and then the wave after that will be an emergence of Bitcoin as the highest form of property.
Ultimately, a future is envisioned where Bitcoin surpasses all other forms of currency, cementing its position as an enduring force in our rapidly evolving world. Looking ahead to the future, one cannot help but contemplate the potential trajectory of Bitcoin and its impact on the global landscape. As faith in other crypto networks and tokens dwindles, Bitcoin stands poised to emerge as the pinnacle of value and security. Are you ready to join the wave of change and shape the future with your own cryptocurrency journey? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you find this video informative, don't forget to show your support towards our channel by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and enabling notifications to stay informed about our latest video. Thank you for watching.